My name is John Schauber. This is my history project. Two railroad companies, the Central Pacific and the Union Pacific, began the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1863 and finished it in 1869. The Central Pacific started in Sacramento, California, and built eastward. They had to go through the Sierra Nevada mountains, but they did it. Many of their workers were Chinese immigrants. The Union Pacific started building in Omaha, Nebraska, and went westward. It put down track over mostly flat land, so it was able to build really fast. But nobody knew exactly where the two railroad companies would meet up to finish the Transcontinental Railroad. It turned out that they meet here in Utah at a place called Promontory Point. How cool! The picture to the right is the day they finished building, which, after 21 million hammer swings, was on May 10th, 1869. This is a real spike from Promontory Point. When the Transcontinental Railroad was finished, my dad got it from his friend who used to work for the railroad. And when they switched it out, and when they switched out the old spikes to put in new ones, he got this. It's finished. What did that mean? It meant that the railroad now crossed the whole continent from coast to coast, so a person could get on a train and make it from Boston to San Francisco in about 6 days. Before the railroad was finished, it took about 6 months for a person to make the same trip on a foot. That's a big difference. What else did the Transcontinental Railroad do for the country? It also meant that things, not just people, could be transported all around the country, so people could get a hold of new things that they couldn't get before. People here in Utah started to enjoy this. It also helped towns grow bigger, because wherever the railroad went through became a center for trade and commerce, so people moved there. This was true for places like Ogden and Salt Lake City, which grew bigger than they had been as a result of the railroad being completed. In 1883, time zones were established, and this because of the railroad. Trains had to be on time to drop off people and goods all across the country. We still use the time zone today, and we live in the mountain time zone. Did the railroad expand and grow? Yes, it did. You can see from the map on the left that more railroad lines kept being built, and by the early 1900s, a person could go from just about any large town to about any other large town in the United States by using trains. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad had a huge impact on the state of Utah. As said earlier, towns grew bigger than they ever had. You can see that Ogden grew bigger, Salt Lake grew bigger. The train had something to do with this growth, and those cities and others in Utah continued to grow and grow as the years went on. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it, Mr. Jones.